What's up, guys? Hope you guys are enjoying your day so far. I have some issues that I'm a little bit concerned about. I really want to discuss with everyone. The direction of the world is really going in a downward spiral. And it's because of us. It's because of the decisions we've been making. It's because of the things that we're doing to our planet. And it's because of our ignorance. Nobody cares. And that's the biggest problem. If you ever want to make change on this planet, we really need to begin looking at our own actions and the things that we do. Because regardless of what anyone says, you're the one who makes change. You're the one who brings it about. Not just because you like a status on Facebook, or because you talk about how much you want to help the cause, or how much you're for it. None of that matters. What matters is what you do, not what you say. And I think that's the biggest problem with today's society is we can talk a good talk. You know, we could say, oh yeah, man, I'm really opposed to all that violence over there in the Middle East, or I'm really opposed to, what we're doing to the planet. It's so bad, or what are you going to do about it? Talking about things doesn't make them change. Sure, of course, it's a word of mouth that gets around. People are going to understand, hear the problem over time and get to a point where, the word is out there. But is that really changing anything? Maybe. But what really changes things is when you stand up. When you make your voice heard. And that's what I'm going to begin to do. Because for the longest time I've always sat around and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and I want to make sure that I say it in the right way. And when I used to make YouTube videos, I used to literally start re-recording and re-recording and re-recording and re-recording over and over and over and over and over again, simply because I said something that maybe I didn't want to say, or maybe I was catching myself saying things that were repetitive, and because you'll tend to see that I say, or I've actually stopped doing it, or I try to. I say a lot, and it may not even be prominent, or when I say prominent, it may not even be, audible to most people, because maybe not everybody else is really paying attention to those minor details. But when I hear myself talk over and over and over again, I was always like, oh, well, I say that, and I'd rewatch the video and be like, oh, I gotta re-record that now, and who cares? Who really cares? All that matters is the message. All that matters is what I'm trying to say, and what I'm trying to say is that we need to make some changes. Things are not going in a good direction, and it really upsets me. It really just puts me in a negative space, and I'm very good at remaining positive, remaining calm and cool and collected. But at the same time, how long must I sit idly by and watch these things happen, and watch the ignorance, and watch the negligence, and watch people just not care about issues that not only affect me and my grandchildren and my children to come, it affects the planet, it affects the animals, it affects their children and their grandchildren to come. So for them to say, oh, I don't care, or that doesn't apply to me, or that's not really that big of an issue to me, or whatever it is, that's very ignorant. And it upsets me. And I can't even count how many times I make a post on Facebook about something very, very prominent and very, very, there's so many, very meaningful. Gets maybe 2 or 3 likes from the same people who always like the photo or the words and the message that I'm trying to send. And I'm not saying y'all gotta like my Facebook posts. I'm not saying that you gotta, what I'm saying is that, or maybe everybody's just unfollowed me because I tend to speak about issues that catch people's mind. When I bring up things, people tend to get upset, and that's what I want. I want people to get concerned. I want people to get upset, and I want people to say, hey, he made me think. I don't really care if you unfriend me. I don't really care if you don't like it. I used to care, but not anymore. If you don't like what I talk about, then hit the unfriend button. Hit the unsubscribe button. Because I'm at a point where none of that matters to me. What matters is making a positive change in this world. And I'm, once again, not going to sit idly by and watch people just not care. People talk about issues that have no relevance and have no significance in making a change on this planet. And that's what I think makes me the saddest, is that people just simply don't care. And that's fine. You don't have to care. If you don't want to care, I can't make you care. But I can sure as hell spread a message. And I can sure as hell talk about the matters that really upset me and that really are meaningful to me, just as much as you can talk about all of that stuff that may be meaningful to you. And I'm not saying it's not meaningful, but what I am saying is that we need to get to a point where we actually care about what happens to the planet, what happens to the animals that live on the planet, and what happens to us years down the road. Are we really going in a direction that's going to be beneficial for the future human species? For our grandchildren? Our great... It's to a point where I just... it's... I know Bongo. See, Bongo's very upset too. Tell him how upset you are, Bongo. Tell him how upset you are. Thank you for your input. Give me the camera. We gotta make a change, people. The world isn't gonna change simply by you wishing upon it. You have to act. You have to be the change that you wish to see in the world.